And we are live. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to episode 3 of Alien DNA with ASRIA, the Pink Lady, and me, Oracle Lady D. Don't mind me, my hair's still drying. I lost track of time, so we have a little bit of wet edge, but it will be dry by the end of the show. And it doesn't
It
matter
looks
how
good.
I look.
It looks good.
I just want to let people know, no, it's not greasy, it's just still wet. So how are you doing, Asria, today? How's your day going?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say here in the UK, if you see me leaning across, it's just putting the fan on because we are experiencing some really hot temperatures here in the UK. I mean, I don't know if it's to do with the meteors that have been landing on this planet over the past few days. I think there's one in the US somewhere. I can't remember off the top of my head, maybe like Atlanta, somewhere like that. But I think there's certainly a lot going on in and around our atmosphere as well. But we're certainly feeling it here in the UK because I mean, normally our summers, and I can see a few people from in the chat from the UK, but we normally get up to about 27, 28. But the past couple of days has been like 32, 33. So we don't have aircon or anything like that. We're not built for the heat. So but definitely enjoying the sunshine.
Oh, it's good to have the sunshine. Yeah, it's been about the last couple of days it's been in the 70s, which is nice. Yesterday it got a little muggy, it was overcast, so I had to put on the AC, but yeah, you need AC here in the States. It gets very, very hot and very, very muggy. So thank God for AC. It's not so much the heat, it's the humidity. It's awful, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, that's it. When you get out of the shower and then it's just like you just wet and then you're sweating. It's awful. But hey, we're very, very thankful for what we have. And wow.
Indeed, indeed.
And Azria, you were in the demand again, sold out of your alien DNA. So,
Yes,
folks,
thank
before
you.
we go any further, I have a few announcements. If you are interested in getting your alien DNA done by Azria for next week, in the description of the show, just go underneath. I put a special link there. They're all of Azria's details, but underneath her details, if I can speak, underneath her details is a link, and it says link to Asria's DNA for next week's show. You click on that and then you can order it. We do ask that you put all the orders in by Friday because she needs a few days to do these. It's not something that she can do on the fly. She did have somebody that ordered it last minute this morning, but which was fine. But most of them have to be in by at least Friday because, as I said, it takes about a half hour to an hour to do one session for each person
Yeah.
for Azria to really do it. And she really takes it seriously and she works with integrity. So she doesn't want to you know, just do it just to do it. She likes to take her time and make sure it's accurate. All right. So in the description of this video, you can link on it. And I would suggest if you want one done, buy them right away because we were just about sold out by the end of the show. And we were sold out 2 days after the show. And then I think there was one left, and then someone bought it this morning. So they go quick. So if you're interested, buy them quick because they go quick. All
Yeah.
right. So, Azria, before we get into the nitty gritty, do you want to talk about a few things before we get into the individual people's DNA?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Lady D. I think the just to reiterate, for if there's any sort of new listeners here at all, but also just a couple of things around before we actually dive into the DNAs as well. These are in no particular order, so I don't know if you were first, second, third, etc. So it's just and thank you to everyone who has booked a reading. It has been an absolute pleasure. Said I do, as Dee was kindly mentioning there around the time and everything it takes. So we're certainly sitting yeah in the heat to do the last one. But I think the main thing that I'd like to say here is that where we do get such a variety of people and quite a variety of people across the world as well. there is that opportunity for there to be doubles, which we've got in there as well. So we do have 2 or 3 of the same, absolutely. But one thing I would really like to say, which has been very, very, very interesting, and through this work that we're doing, so just for those who may be new, is that using the unifier, a beautiful selenite crystal, is I tune into you with your acceptance, and your acceptance comes in regards to you coming to book with me, and where I asked a number of questions, full name, date of birth, etc. And then I tune in to and go right into that energy field with the unifier and have a look at those frequencies that are in your energy body, and the unifier will tell me by moving in separate different ways, because remember, I've been looking at this work for the past number of years. Second of all, I will get a feeling for those particular beings, and that's why I kind of had to kind of go in there and really kind of ensure that those were the beings that I was getting through, because, and this is what I wanted to highlight, is might be giving the game away a little bit here, but I'm going to say as a bit of a teaser, is we do have a few of you in there that are Pleiadian, but there was different races of Pleiadian in there, because it's like saying there's only one race of human, but you don't. You have African, Asian, and so on and so forth. So as this work is progressing, we are starting to pick up on some of the hybrids. We are starting to pick up on some of those slightly more precise beings. And so there's 1 or 2 that have very much come up that are quite specific. So, and that is where we can really start diving into, okay, so what is their background? What did they do? What are their abilities? Because at the end of the day, one of the main purposes for this, and certainly for me and my clients over the past few years and months, is that once those frequencies have been identified, remember, this is only a tiny, tiny, tiny reading, because we can go into all those different frequencies. So this is just your high level. This is your main starseed DNA that is activated right now. And we know that in the past couple of years, and how the earth has been changing itself, because remember, we are organic matter. So those energies that have been changing on the earth will have a change to us as well. And we don't necessarily need anyone else to activate us. It's going on within our free will and within the planet as well. So the ones that have been activated the most are your Lemurians, are your Atlanteans. And there's 1 or 2 others in there as well over the past few years. But I'll just come back to one point I was just about to make, is once you have this information, and I said the biggest piece of my work is when somebody said that resonates with me, that is it. That is why I feel this way. That is why I do the things that I do. Then they're able to pull on that energy. They're able to pull on that frequency and utilize it even more in this day and age through this ascension process, because at the end of the day, it is our main connection with our off-world family. So if it is, say, and Lady D has had some amazing experiences before, but before I hand over, it's the case of you then are able to go, if that resonates, you can then connect in to say, yes, I would like to work with you more. So where you don't necessarily have a name of your spirit guide, at least you know the being that you can then, if it resonates, and that's the most important thing, that you can then use your free will and say, yes, I would like to work with you more. I would like to connect with you more. Because it's that link. And also those abilities that come forward. So, for example, if there's more clairaudience, clairvoyance, the many healing modalities that our off-world families work with, and so on. I mean, the list is endless. So, yeah, that it's going to be a very interesting ride. And just thank you so much for everyone who has booked. And I really hope you enjoy. And please do give us feedback in the chat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, it never ceases to amaze me. Every time you do a reveal, it's always the feedback in the chat is always like, oh, that makes sense. That resonates with me. Oh my God, now I know this and now I know that. And it just it's just amazing. You know, everyone knows my story, but I can't talk about it enough, because until I knew who my star family is, my ET, my alien DNA family was, I wasn't really able to connect with them. You know, some people know intuitively. I didn't know intuitively. I knew that they were beings talking to me, but I wasn't sure who they were. But when you find out who they are and you know, it's just like anything else. You don't want to talk to a stranger, but once it's not a stranger anymore, and now you're introduced, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
And once you start that communication, oh boy, are they there and they're present, as I said before, and they're always there with you, and they're always there. They're so happy, they're almost giddy for you to communicate with them, and they're always there to protect you, and they really, really want to communicate with you. They are dying to communicate with us. It's and another thing, Azria, that I think is amazing is that, you know, we kind of put them on a pedestal and we're in awe of them because they're these fifth dimensional beings. But in my experience, and correct me if I'm wrong, Pink Lady, they're in awe of us. They're in awe of us. In fact, especially the Andromedans, I call them my Andromedan kin. I go, my Andromedan kin, my family. They always say that they're more in awe of us. Like we're so, you know, we put them on pedestals, but they say that it took a lot of courage for us to be born in this time and space, and to be, you know, it took a lot of guts, and a lot of them didn't have the courage to actually, let's say, shrink their frequency or lower their frequency down to be born in 3D. What do you say about that, Azria?
Yeah, I agree, because as if time is a human construct. So with regards to what's happening on this planet now, I mean, we could go back 170 million years, or we can be in the present day. I mean, it's all, as I said, it's time is linear. So whether it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, past, present, future, yes, as you were saying, not only did we agree to come down to support this earth as much as possible, but we also came down to learn our lessons. We also obviously had a contract, and when we came down to say this is what we're going to do, and again, it's all around your purpose. And again, sometimes linking in with those beings that you're working with also helps with that purpose. You think, oh, is it that healer? Is it that teacher? Is it that? And it's a whole host of things. But as you rightly said, we're the ones in 3D. We're the ones in the meat suits. This body of ours. We're the ones that live in on day-to-day life in 3D, going into 4D and 5, etc. But this is why, and especially as we do go into our ascension, if you like, that we do start connecting and working with our off-world families and connections, because they can help and have been helping.
Yeah, especially with our ascension. I mean, that's primarily why they're here, is for our ascension. But, and also correct me if I'm wrong, Azria, that many times in the past, these same beings or other beings like them have come down to assist in our ascension, and we mistook them for gods and we kind of put them on pedestals and we messed up our ascension because this ascension is our ascension and we have to do it. We can get help, but there is no savior. There is no somebody that's going to save us. We do it. We might have a lot of help from God and the divine and but all these other worldly beings, but in the past we've put like kind of handed our will, and they have been good and bad inner, let's say, multidimensional beings, and some that have said, oh, we're here for your ascension, we're here to help you, and they really weren't here to help us. They were here to stifle and stop the ascension. And then the ones that were here to help, we made them into gods and worshiped them, and that kind of kiboshed our ascension too. What say you, Asria, about what I just said?
I would agree. I mean, there are those that are more ascended masters, absolutely, and who were here to provide that level of support and guidance, absolutely. But as you were rightly saying, it is that kind of indoctrination where the stories and the fables and the writings have been and I'm not talking about one religion in particular or one set of literature, but it's where things have been changed by various groups, various peoples, various cultures, various religions in order to project that narrative. But, and I can't remember exactly who said it, and it really resonated with me, and this is the key, is that when it does resonate with you, and this, what this person said really resonated, and it's coming together as humankind, human beings. We're beings in our own right. So, and as we are all opening, as we are all raising our vibration across the globe, this is when, and as Dee was saying, that we will start sending, because all of that energy, all of that frequency, as well as what Mother Nature's doing herself, is all going to assist. But it's only, as I said, really in the past few years that I think there has been that major shift. And that's why what's happening in our atmosphere and what's happening on the planet is also being affected, as I was mentioning, around the meteors, around the tectonic plates that are moving. I mean, you just need to have a look at the amount of volcanoes and earthquakes and things like that we're having. Yes, some of these might be written down in some of those texts, absolutely. But it's only as a joint, as a collective. One person isn't going to change the whole globe. But as a collective, I think it was something like 2%, 3%, something like that. But that is of the whole world. So we still do have a little while to go, but as a collective.
That's really good news that we're almost there. I mean, considering where we started from. Yeah, exactly. It's like, come on, people, wake up, wake up. We're tired of waiting for you. Not that we're waiting for anyone, but you know what I mean. I do want to shout out to some new channel members. Cosmic Dragon 369. Thank you, Aisha. Welcome. And thank you for being a member of my channel, as well as Dawn. A shout out to Dawn. And thank you, Dawn, for being a new member to my channel. I welcome you and thank you so much. So, Asria, do you want to get into the nitty gritty? I'm sure they're all waiting with bated breath.
Waiting very patiently. Yes, let's do this.
All right, so what I'm going to do is, okay, so I'm going to name the person. And you want me to put everything just as is. Okay. So the first one.
Just the images, lovely. That'll be fine.
Okay.
That'd be fantastic.
I'll bring up the images, and yeah, I'm going to bring up the images, but I'll go through and let you know who we're reading to.
That would be wonderful, because I was going to say, I think didn't do a great job with sharing the images on our last show. So I have certainly learned to hand the controls over to your wonderful self, Dee. So thank you so much.
No problem. That is my specialty. It is my specialty.
I will learn. I promise.
Well, if you don't have listen, you learn by doing. It's only because I've been doing this for a while. All right. So the first person we have is Theresa. She's from West Sussex, UK, over there across the pond. Theresa, I won't give the birth date because that's your personal. Theresa, West Sussex, UK, feline, and I'm going to bring up the image.
Okay, so for wonderful Theresa, as we said, as Dee just said, we do have a wonderful feline here. Remember, this is your most active DNA at this moment in time. So I find that you're a very insightful person. Your intuition is absolutely key. Sometimes you misjudge it, but remember, it is very, very strong for you. Start kind of like looking at what works for you. It's not all about what works for everyone else, but what works for you. I believe you can be quite stubborn at times, but that is looking at the being. And even if you look at cats in general, if they're going somewhere, they're gonna go. And not only that, I get a really, really strong level of independence with you. And that is not only rooted in your current history, but also as quite a leader as well. One of the things that did come up for you as well, though, is that felines really use all of their senses. And the main thing I got with you is there's a lot of going on, kind of like we call it the monkey mind. And what I welcome you to do is tuning back into that divine feminine. So bringing it back, because the felines do very much look at and respect and tune into that divine feminine. So that divine feminine, I said, is people use it quite a lot, but for yourself, it's just going into that solar plexus and bringing that energy up. And as you're bringing that energy up, it's going to start flowing. I also welcome you to, I'm not too sure if you're already working with your psychic gifts, but again, I think with really tuning, look at how cats work in general. They're very methodical. Okay, they walk very slowly. Nothing's at a huge race. And I think that's when that monkey mind is really starting, because that's not a comfortable place for you to be in, I don't believe. And then one or two last bits for you is the adaptability. So if we're looking at the felines as a race, they have helped and they have supported in many wars and conflicts off planets. So they have had to go, and they do go to other star systems and planets. So sometimes they do need to like change and alter to a degree in order to be there to support. And that is, I believe, one of your biggest strengths. You don't always see it because you do it naturally. You do it naturally, but taking a step back and going, actually, that's what I'm blooming good at. I nearly said something else there. Okay. But yes, please, I do very much welcome you to dive into that divine feminine with the felines as well. I hope that helps.
You're already getting feedback. She's saying it makes sense. She says it explains a lot. This is why cats love her. And Deianne, obviously Deianne Daly, my soul sister Deianne Daly out there. She's saying she's definitely methodical and very purposeful. She can tackle anything thrown at her, but at her own pace. This is on point 100%. And she says, I have a Cheshire cat onesie.
Oh, wonderful. So wear that and do your breathing. Absolutely. Anything that gets you into that mindset. Trust me, anything. Yeah. Anything helps. But yeah, loving the onesie, maybe not in this heat. Because yeah. like the cats, I'm not enjoying that either. But
right.
Yes. But thank you so much for the feedback, ladies. Thank you.
Yeah, very much on point. Thank you so much. I love it. Okay, so you're not just a cat, you're also ba-ba-da-ba.
Yep, so this is for Catherine.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's just one. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm combining both. So she's a cat. So this is for Catherine. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop sharing. I gotta go back to my screen and open up and get the next person. I apologize.
No, that's
That was my faux pas. Okay, so we have Catherine, Tennessee, USA. Tennessee, USA, and you are an Andromedan girlfriend like me. Here we go. That's why I got excited. And I'm going to share
there
my
we
screen.
Go. You just wanted to see them again. There we go.
I did.
You just wanted to see the Andromedans again. There we go.
That's right.
But please,
I have a bias for them.
These images are, some people do see them differently. I am working with AI because very aware of like copyright and things like that. So if it doesn't necessarily look exactly how you picture them, this is the best. I work with AI as well. So yes, Catherine, Andromedan. So what I got for yourself is the absolute desire to make the world a better place. Now, please tell me if that resonates. Because, and if I'm sorry, I'm going off pace a little bit here. I kind of got the Michael Jackson song. If that means anything to you, please let us know. But that's what I was getting, so I thought I'd just pass it on. Anyway, so I've got here around very passionate, but it's passionate about creative leadership. So when you do work with people, whether it's friends, family, or in a business, you think outside the box. It's not always it has to be this process. It has to be, or if you don't, I welcome you to start doing that, because actually being in this box doesn't suit you. Again, with them, they are very, very empathic. Also thinking outside the box as well. The Andromedans are full of wisdom and kind of very old wisdom. So when you're speaking, you may think, oh, where did that come from? I know it, but I don't quite, it's kind of like, no, somebody else must have said that. So really start kind of picking up on, especially when you're talking to those who you work with or those who you deal with, because I believe a lot more of that wisdom is coming out. and especially around the depth of that emotion. So everyone says, oh, when I've come away from you, I just feel so good, because there is a natural depth of energy and emotion that you do radiate, as I said, as a leader. How can I put this? And then I think one of the last things I'll also add on there as well is that if you were to look at something a bit more creative, and it looks as though I've added it on the image there, it's kind of like those geometric patterns. I don't know if you see lots of different patterns and swirls and all that type of stuff around. But these guys really do know how to work with that, with those geometric patterns. And I'm loving that Lady D is nodding along there as well. So, because then, yeah, you know the Andromedans, yeah, certain, well, more intimate than myself with them, and yeah, so it's always good to get the sign of confirmation there as well. So if you do find yourself doodling, just have a look to see what you are doodling, because there are those patterns that do start coming up.
She already says and spot on. I don't like boxes too much. Oh. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I didn't mean to interrupt you, honey, but she's already giving you feedback.
Oh, awesome. Spot on. I don't. Brilliant.
Sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. I looked away from my screen. I apologize, but no, thank you so much for the feedback. So you know what? It is okay to think outside the box, because if people who want to fit into the box, they will, but you don't, lovely. So thank you so much. And vibrational colors, definitely. So what I welcome you to do is I keep on getting doodling, drawing, seeing, when kind of getting to that breathing state, and then start doodling. We can, if this does resonate and these beings do resonate with you, and that's the most important, then just sit quietly, invite them to come forward, and then doodle and see what you get. I do believe you do actually have quite a very nice connection anyway. But yeah, thank you so much for the feedback.
Yep, already great feedback. Yes, and to give my perspective on the Andromedans, when you were talking about the geometric shapes, about 2 weeks ago, I got a visit, maybe a week and a half, and they beamed in. They did holograms, and they beamed into my bedroom. But the way they woke me up, and I was in a sound sleep, is all of a sudden, in my sleep, I saw with my eyes closed, I started seeing geometric patterns, these beautiful, vibrant colors. Some colors I've never even, if this makes sense, I've never even seen before. But there were these different colors, but there was these geometric patterns. And it was like, it woke me up. I'm seeing it was just like a kaleidoscope and I knew it was them. I said, oh, I know who this is. I could just tell. And when I opened my eyes, they were there. So if you start to see geometric patterns as you, if you're meditating, Lady Cat, that's them. That's them. That's how they communicate. Sometimes they'll send you geometric patterns in your brain, and you won't understand cognitively, like a human brain won't conceive what they mean. However, they'll be absorbed and they will kind of upgrade you, right? It's like you don't know exactly what they mean, but your heart and soul will know what they mean. Is that, I'm trying to say it right, Asria. How do you put it? I'm not finding the right words.
You intuitively know it.
There you go. Yes.
And it just feels right. I mean, and thank you for saying that, because that is absolutely key. And even though, as I said, we are sharing these insights with these beings, and I thank everyone for their feedback. But as I said, the biggest thing is how it feels for you. And when it's kind of like when you walk into a house and you think, not too sure of this. Same thing when you see something, you think, yeah, I like that, or it resonates. Similar as I was saying with the lady before, if that all that knowledge and wisdom comes out and you're thinking, yeah, this feels right, this is good, but you're thinking, okay, it's coming through, that's fine.
Yeah.
So it's trusting, like we do when we do readings. It's that trusting.
Yep. Awesome. Yep, this is resonating with her. Yep. Yep. The images are embedded in what you see. And it's like in your soul and your spirit will know exactly what it means. And it will they give you upgrades all the time. That's another thing, Lady Cat. Ask them for upgrades and they'll bring you. Yeah. They are so accessible. They're so loving. They're so kind. They're so generous. They don't really understand human emotions, but they understand that we have human emotions, but they don't, I mean, they feel love, but they don't feel the range of emotions that we do. And they understand how hard it is, but they're awesome. I can't speak enough about them. But I'm very partial to them, as everyone knows why.
Yeah, so it's the wonderful, little boy at the top of the screen.
That's right, my Adamundan. Yep, that's why. Okay, so we have Andrea. It's either Andrea or Andrea. I think it's Andrea. And she's from Modesto, USA. And she is an Atlantean. Oh, isn't she beautiful? Look at, these gorgeous pictures. I love these pictures. Okay, let me share my screen. Look at that.
There
Beautiful.
we go.
Look at how beautiful. Oh, these images are just gorgeous. Look at that. I want to look like her.
I know, not that you should have jealousy, but yeah, absolutely. I've been trying to grow my hair for years, but it hasn't quite worked. So any hints and tips would be good. Loving the color, a little bit longer. Great. Anyway, so Atlantean, these guys surprisingly don't come up too often, and when they do, they come through with a force. They come through with a force in a way that it's kind of very, I get the feeling very, very ambitious. It's kind of like, because if you think when they came down, and we talk about like the lost city of Atlantis, they were the ones who were kind of like here the longest. I mean, there are still quite a few around, but that's a story for another day. But they were the ones who really kind of came down and set up camp for a while. So, as I said, there is that ambitious nature. But at the same time, I kind of get this whole with yourself, lovely, is around procrastination. And trust me, I can be a queen at that as well, with being slightly neurodiverse too. So when you do kind of get that procrastination, listen to it, because sometimes it's just about sitting back and seeing actually what is it that I'm being told, what is it that's coming through, because actually you are allowed to rest, and that is okay. I think also with yourself is that they were a very, very calm. And I think that when you do feel kind of like that anger and I got the word dis-peace, not too sure what that means, but it doesn't feel right to you and you don't quite know what to do with it. And that's perfectly fine. And what I welcome you to do is when it comes up, just say, that's okay, and let it go. Because I think that is not an energy that really resonates and you don't always know what to do with. These guys are always about being truth seekers as well. They are a keeper of ancient knowledge, but again, more around it's the truth in others. And that's where the anger comes from, because you know and you sense it. If somebody is being dishonest or not truthful. I mean, over here we have such a thing called a white lie. I'm sure it's the same everywhere else. And even a white lie, you go, oh, not sure about that. Very, very empathetic and very, very nurturing. Absolutely. That's just inbuilt within yourself. They are visionaries. So sometimes they are kind of seeing things way in the future. So they are the ones, and we do have a few within our history. I mean, there were artists who were drawing helicopters before we barely even knew what electricity was. Anyway, I'm not going to give a history lesson right now, but that's the type of thing I'm talking about. And if you do have these ideas and if you do have these thoughts, it is okay to express them, to write them down, to jot them down, because they are coming through from you. And then the last thing I'd just like to say about these guys as well, and that DNA that is so strong within you, is trust. But it's trusting the energies around you and starting to know how to work with them. And I think you've been doing a great job with what I'm getting so far. So just continue the great work, and I hope that helps. Thank you.
Yes, put in the chat if that resonates. Whoever that was, if you're here, we'd love to get some feedback in the chat. Definitely. And people are already asking how to do this. So if you want to get one of these done, in the description of the show, just go beneath. I have a special link. All you have to do is click on it and we'll bring it up. Okay? So that is how you order one. And it's very, very inexpensive. It's very cost effective. It's only $20. And I'm telling you, it's the best $20 you will ever part with. And the best $20 you ever spend, because what you will gain from it is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, so that was Andrea. Okay, so now we have Lisa. Oh, sorry. That was Andrea. Now we have Linda. Linda, 1967, Imperial Beach. Oh, I gave your birth year. Oh, well, you're still a youngin'. Linda, 1967, Imperial Beach. And we have a Pleiadian. Those Pleiadians, another gorgeous being. Here we go. They're just so beautiful.
So
and she kind of reminds me of Susie, our Susie Q. Our
wonderful. Susie Q. Oh yeah, I see the resemblance now. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, look at that bone structure. I mean, it's just stunning. Don't think they quite got the hair color right, and the skin tone is slightly more blue, but yeah, there we go. But no, for our beautiful Linda, I mean, there was so much to unpick there, and with a number of the wonderful people who I've been reading for, is you always kind of want to go further and further and further down, but this one is the love and the service to the collective, for the world around, in the most unique way. And now I kind of do know a little bit more of a background here. So where you do have that teacher, that spiritual teacher, that who's very much in tune with the world around, as we've said before. But I think the other thing in which I'd like to say here, and it's something that I was saying earlier, is that we get with this person and the next person who are both Pleiadians is we're starting to get, for the more well-known ones, if you like, a little bit more in depth. So as I said, where we've got like the human race, we then get Africans, Asians, etc. We're starting to get more of the different races. And so with these guys, I'm looking at more at all of the different races, but certainly with Linda,
Sorry.
I'm getting the sensitive nature of the energies around. I said it doesn't matter if it could be the fact that somebody walks past your front door, you feel it. So I welcome you, which I believe is already the case, is starting to build up those protection levels as well, because as you're ascending and as those energies are building. Also, when I was saying around that, the teacher and the spiritual teacher is how, you know, when people say you're speaking without any words, this is very much the Pleiadian way. It's kind of, and you can hopefully see even like within this image, this person is portraying so much by just being. And that's what I was hoping to get across in the image as well.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And then I think the last thing I would say around here as well is, even though there hasn't always been a level of community, it's kind of like you do have that community feel in one way, shape or form, but then it's okay to step away. But you know that there are those communities of people that you do very much help, and I look forward to what else is to come. Thank you.
Beautiful.
And then it's for our next person, it's the same image.
Okay. Good. I just wanted to do a little check and see how we're doing on your readings, because I heard you were sold out. So let me see if you're sold out yet. Oh, ASRIA, you're already sold out for next Sunday.
That's crazy. Thank you, everyone.
Good for you. You go, girl. Because I saw in the chat, one of my regulars who I love. Where are you? Where are you? Betty M. Betty M. I love Betty M. She's one of my regulars and she's so good to me. She's like, oh, I was going to buy one, but you're sold out. I'm like, and you are. So, folks, she's sold out. She's in demand. So if you want, you're going to have to wait until next week. And what did I tell you? If you wanted to buy one, do it quick because they go quick. And I was right. So you are sold out, soul sister. All right. So let me get to the next one. And it's the same image, but another Pleiadian. Yeah, I can't believe how much that looks like Susie Q. So Susie Q, if you're watching this, you are definitely a Pleiadian. And she's beautiful. Gorgeous, Susie Q. She looks like a Pleiadian. Oh, this is Lisa. Lisa, 1962, Macon, M-A-C-O-N, Macon, or Macon, Georgia, U.S. And she's Pleiadian. Future aspects, especially the
Yeah, don't worry, I'll pronounce those.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pronounce
it's not always easy. And especially with someone who's it's like, you know, diverse as well. Like, how? Really? Because they're and that's what I'd like to also say to the viewers as well, is like, when I was starting to work with my with the team of beings that I work with, you don't get a name. No one's called like Bob or Charlotte or Sarah, or because a lot of the time it is sound. So we kind of need to manipulate some of the words and some of the names and things like that, because we need to, in order for us to be able to express and be able to say these names. But for example, with the main being that I work with, I didn't actually get, it took me probably about 2 years to actually pick up on that reoccurring sound. And now I still don't know if I pronounce it well enough, but, and that's why sometimes people say pronounce things in a slightly different way, because it's not always the way, because it is more down to sound and vibration. So these guys are the Alcons, and I didn't necessarily pick up a picture on this one because it isn't clear. But with between the two, you have a very darker skin and a much lighter skin, and one has black hair and the other has, again, probably the same type of color. But for Lisa, these particular race of Pleiadians are again forward thinkers, powerful individuals, but difference being is that they do have their set task, their set goals. So I think in our 3D world, we would kind of see that as a little bit more career focused. So that is our goal, that is our task, and that's what we need to do. And I'm not saying it's necessarily a purpose, but when you kind of get given something to do, I've got, career coming up that you do get very focused on. I'm also kind of getting at the same time that even when you do get that focus, there's an element of fantasy around that career as well. And I don't mean that you go off in fantasy land. What I mean by that is that you make what you do magical. Whatever it is that you do, I mean, I don't know what it is you do, but even if it was, say, like a project manager, you kind of make it your own. Because when they're given a task, it's kind of like that's their task. And you know the old saying, life is what you make it. Exactly that. I also get, as hopefully you listen to the one for Linda as well, because there are a couple of crossovers there. The one thing I do welcome you to do is, when we are talking about that fantasy element as well, is that visionary. They kind of utilize that pineal gland with the sights. So like when you do visual meditation and do visualizations. So even if, say, like you're sitting in an office, imagine how you want that office to be. And that will really start tuning into that kind of like soul development as well. Also with this one, I keep on getting the idea of going outside more, but I think that's just a slight side note. But I hope that resonates. Thank you.
Yeah, this is Lisa right here. And she's a regular on my channel.
I'm still listening to what they're saying. I'm not looking at the screen. I apologize. I was married to my career as a family therapist. Love berries. Yay! Thank you so much, Lisa. That's fantastic.
Lisa. I did a reading on Lisa this week, and she's been a member of my channel since the beginning. It was so great to read her. And she told me she was very much looking forward to this. So I'm very excited. Yeah, she knew she was a Pleiadian. She had an idea. She said that she had an idea she was a Pleiadian. Yeah. Yeah, I forget. Let me find
it. That makes my heart absolutely sing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, there you go.
Lisa. Oh, there we go. Wonderful. Oh, I'm so happy. Thank you.
Yeah, Lisa's great. So yeah, that resonates with her. This is awesome. I love it. And she says she does have a vivid imagination. You go, girl.
That's always a good thing. That's always a good thing.
And as a therapist, she worked with sexually abused children. So she did work with children. Spot on. Spot on, soul
Brilliant.
sister.
Well done. Thank you.
There you go. There you go. Oh, everyone's too excited. We have to get to Deianne daily. She says she has ants in her pants.
We're nearly there, I think. We're nearly there. One more lady, and then I think it's you.
We're getting there, my soul sister Deianne. Love Deianne. Oops, sorry. I've got to change. I keep on forgetting I have to change my screen before I close my screen before I and I apologize with the visuals, folks. Sometimes I go to do something, I'm like, oh, I'm sharing my screen. I forgot. All right, so we did Lisa. Now we have Honeybee. Honeybee, 1968. And she's a northeaster in the US. She's from New York. I'm from Massachusetts. Bronx, New York, USA. Honeybee. And she is an Octurian. Ooh, we love the Octurians. Here we go. I'm going to share my screen. Honeybee.
Thank you
Octurian.
so much. So with Honeybee, with the Octurians, and I'm going to link it back to yourself, but before I go into the actual beings themselves, because as soon as I was tuning in, it was kind of like this barrage of information. So I just wanted to pick up on a few bits before I go any further. So I do feel as though from a very young age, you kind of had an understanding of, let's just say, a higher purpose. So I don't know what it is that you're doing at the moment, but certainly there has been kind of like this feeling of knowing that there has been, or that there is more. I have also been getting an element of like disjointedness there as well. But with the Arcturians, one of the main things is their light codes. They are amazing carrier of light codes, and they use them and utilize them and pass them on for so many different things. I don't know if you've ever thought of maybe doing light language as part of that. And I know when we were having the other lady there around the geometric patterning, this is ever so slightly different. So I don't know if that necessarily resonates with you, or if that's something that you've been doing at this moment in time. But again, I welcome you to have a play and see how that feels. As I said, it wasn't so much it's linking it back to the being, but those direct messages, and I only do what I'm told. I always do what I'm told, as it were. So I hope those messages absolutely relate. The last thing I would like to also pick up on is, you notice that in this particular image that they've got quite large eyes. Maybe I think I might have over exaggerated here, just slightly. But start using your eyes more to see what is actually in the world around you. Yeah, able to see. Absolutely. It's like the wonderful walks in the forest that Dee does, and had the wonderful opportunity when you came over to the UK, walking through the forest and spying all those dragons and fairies. Because they have their own light codes and their own frequencies. So don't just think, oh, I have to see numbers or letters or something like that. It's wider than that. So your eyes are then linked to your heart. So what does that feel like? Feel that coming up. I hope that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. Let me know in the chat, Honeybee, if that resonates with you. She says she needs to look into light language. Yep, she's saying it's resonating with her. So beautiful. Yep, keep us abreast in the chat, Honeybee, if that resonates with you. We like to get the feedback. We like to get the feedback. Yes, we do. We do. All right. Who is next on Alien DNA with Azria? It says the price is right. Who's next on Alien DNA with Azria? The price is right. Yeah. Up. Oh, it's Deianne! Yay, Deianne! Woo! It's Deianne Daly. She's been waiting for this. Oh, Deianne, you are a youngin, 1983. You're young, Deianne. West Sussex, UK. Over there across the pond.
Just down the road. Yes,
just down the road. And you are an elemental. Here you go, Deianne. You do have ants in your pants because you're a fairy girl.
You've been going to play with those ants in the forest. Oh, so that was a nice segue in. There we go. Who knew? I really, really hope this resonates with you, Deianne, because I got a very earthly feel. I got, yay! Thank you. I got the, not necessarily like an eco warrior, but certainly ever since a young age, I kind of want to say, I mean, I'll just give you an example of myself. I was the girl who used to sit in the playground and speak to the flowers rather than making friends. And I think that might resonate with yourself as well. It's kind of like making daisy chains was the best bit out of the whole day rather than sitting in a classroom staring at a blackboard. But we've already said the year, so there we go. You do have a unique purpose. Oh, you make fairy doors too. Oh, I had no idea. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. So you know. And the next thing I was going to say is that, yeah, you do have your unique purpose. And there you go. It is working with them. And you can see them more and more. Like I was saying with Honeybee as well. Ask them to come forward. Yep, absolutely. Did you used to put them in your pocket so you could bring them out in the classroom because frig knows what was going on the board, and then they used to take them away from you, and yeah, that wasn't very fun. But me too. Used to empty your pockets at the end of the day and just take out stones and flowers. Anyway, sorry, I digress. I absolutely digress. But so I'm just so happy this absolutely resonates with you. And I think, as I said, it's being kind of like that eco warrior because you do hold that unique connection to the earth. I would start doing a little bit more grounding though, because it is that, yeah, little bit more grounding is the main message that I'm getting through there. But in order to link in with the fairy folk, is start, as we were saying with Honeybee, start looking with the heart and then bring that up through the eyes as well. But you're on the right track, absolutely, because that is where you're resonating strongly. And I would just like to say, and I'm not sure if it was Deianne who asked, but I did see one or two people ask if you would like to get more of an in-depth reading, so we don't just look at the top level, we also look at level 2 and maybe some of those detected frequencies in there as well, so you can start building up that whole picture. As I said, I'm sure my website's on there as well, and we can, that is an option to start going down into a little bit more depth as well. We normally do it over 2 or 3 separate sessions, because sometimes there is a lot of information that does come forward, and then we do start looking at how to start, if it resonates, we've shown that a lot of these do. So thank you so much for the comments and the feedback. That we then look at integrating that and connecting with those frequencies, connecting with those beings even more. So please do feel free to get in contact. But thank you so much, Deianne. I also connect rocks. Yeah, certainly. I don't know. No, West Sussex, you'll be by the coast. So I'm sure you've got your own collection of hagstones. And if yeah, hopefully everyone knows what a hagstone is, but it's a stone with the hole in the middle to collect all that negative energy. So ask the gods of the sea next time you're walking along a pebble beach, but it has to be a hole all the way through. But I'm sure, Deianne, you've got your own collection, especially down there by the coast. No,
sorry,
you just made my day. Thank you so much. That's absolutely wonderful.
You do. She looks like a fairy. You do look like a fairy, Deianne. You do. You look just like a fairy.
Beautiful.
You do.
Absolutely beautiful.
I love it.
Wonderful energy.
Wonderful energy. I have always loved Deianne. Deianne's always. I've always had affinity for Deianne. She's awesome. And shout out to Country Boy. Country Boy, I'm so glad you're back online. Oh yeah, Deianne is loving it. I have hagstones. I make a wish. I throw them in the water. Yep, you are such the elemental fairy. So when you go into the forest, they're gonna love you. You just say, "Here I come," and they're gonna be flying at you, Deianne. Flying at you. I love it. I love it. Awesome. All right. Who is next on The Price is Right?
The DNA is right.
The DNA is right with ASRIA. Okay, here we go. We have Mitsy, 1976, Missouri, USA. Ooh, and she's a Lemurian. So here we go, Mitsy. Oh, isn't she beautiful? I've never seen a picture of a Lemurian before. So here we go. Very beautiful, Mitsy. Hold on, let me share my screen.
So for Mitsy, I do get a lot of resilience there. But before I go into that, one of the things I would like to mention is with the Lemurians, I believe, and so I've been told, is around raising the consciousness. So a lot of in this program already, we've been talking about raising the frequency and raising the vibration. And this is where I'd like to invite Deianne in a second with regards to it's raising that consciousness, changing that consciousness, because there is a level of programming that we've had so far. But I don't think it's something you've necessarily been dulled into, because on a subconscious level, I do believe you've always had that awareness of something else that's been going on. And I'll just finish this part off and we'll go into this consciousness a little bit more in a second. And in this image, you can see that I've hopefully tried to include a lot more of the yellow, because I think the color yellow is very, very important, even though we are looking at sort of more blue skin, silver hair, etc. But yellow is very, very important, because not only that, it's linked in with I said that solar plexus as well, but it's the solar light and it's the confidence and the divine mission. So I don't know if yellow is a color that very much resonates with you, but I welcome you to kind of tune into that will help you with that connection. You do carry a deep understanding of grace, but unfortunately that has sometimes come at a little bit of a struggle, because you are, I think, in nature quite a graceful person, but actually the environment around you hasn't necessarily allowed you to be that way. And I don't mean graceful in regards to like you sweep across the floor in like walking or anything like that, but just in more of a general kind of like your general attitude and behavior and energy towards things. And then, as I said, before we just go back onto the consciousness part, is, and now I've never really had this come up before, but I'm going to mention it because I think it's actually very important. Oh, thank you so much. Love being in the sun. Well, soak up those rays. Absolutely. But what I was going to say is that with having that higher level of consciousness, you have that higher level of awareness. And I've got the word forgiveness because I think and I believe that it's kind of like, okay, well, you want to go and get on with that. You go and get on with that. And I forgive you because that's the way you do it. And there we go. So I'm not too sure. I mean, that's kind of how the feeling that I get from these beings. But for you in particular, I feel that either that's something that you've come to understand, it's something that you've done recently, or it's something within your energy overall. And now I know I've kind of listed about 3 different things there, but it was just kind of like that level of forgiveness. And I've got this, as you can see from my hands, is outpouring from the heart. So I hope that, I really do hope that resonates. But if we could just go back to that level of consciousness, because when we're talking about things like that, it's not necessarily being, so I've been seeing, that's wonderful. It's not so much, sorry, I get distracted so easily, is how we change our minds and how we work with our minds and how we work between our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. And as we say, over the past hundreds of years, etc., there has been, or I believe there's been, I should say, that level of programming, especially, as I said, when we were children. It's like, you have to go and get the job, the career, the marriage, the da. But actually, and I really would like to note Dee's last program, I think it was yesterday, which I thought was absolutely amazing, and I certainly got a lot from it, is that we do actually have a lot more control over our conscious and subconscious minds. And I think that is something that, Mitsy, that you are well aware of. Dee, may I ask if there's anything that you'd like to add on that bit?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So, in terms of the conscious and the subconscious mind, we have been programmed. And as you can see, she's closing her eyes and she's daydreaming in this picture. And very much what we focus on expands. There's this constant tug of war between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And believe it or not, it's our subconscious mind that wins, is because that is the programming. That is the things that the programming that has been foisted upon us since even before we came out of our mother's womb. So we do have power, and it's through our focus. And this is what I spoke about in my show last night. So if you didn't catch my live last night, it's called switching timelines, shifting timelines, and it's called shifting realities and jumping timelines. And basically, it's that we have control over our focus and our thoughts. And where we put our focus and our thoughts, that's what expands. So if you want to change your life, you change your thoughts. That's basically it. It sounds a lot easier than it is. It's very difficult, but where we have to remember what we focus on expands. So if you're focused on beautiful things, positive things, things that you are grateful for, things that make you happy, things that bring you joy, make you laugh, make your heart sing, you bring more of that into your life. And when you resonate and you vibrate on things that make you happy, you bring in the things that you want. Because let's face it, the reason why we want anything, right, is because we want to be happy. So if you resonate and you focus on happiness, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be that one thing that you want to manifest. If anything makes you happy and you focus on that, it brings more and more and more things that are happy. It's like a snowball effect. But if you focus on lack and all the things that you don't want in your life, the things that suck in your life, you're going to have more in that. So it's like what you focus on expands. So that's why I always have to say you have to be a spiritual snob. Not that meaning that you're better than anyone else, but you really have to be a snob in what you focus on. You have to really, really be selective at what you put your attention on. We have to stop putting our attention on things that we don't want to expand or multiply in our life and focus on the things that we do want. So that's what ASRIA means by that tug of war between our subconscious and our conscious. Now, our subconscious is our egoic brain. It's our 3D linear brain. And as I said last night, it's not necessarily the enemy. Our ego puts us in fight or flight because that's its way of protecting us. So whenever we do things that are outside of our comfort zone, or we say, "Oh, I want this dream," and then your ego mind goes, "Yeah, you can't have that dream. You're not old enough, or you don't have enough experience. You're not rich enough. You can never have that. You're a loser." That's your egoic brain. It's going to fight you because anything that you do that's out of the norm, that isn't status quo, it goes beep, 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 red flag, alert. I'm putting you in fight or flight because my job is to protect you. Our ego is not our enemy because we need our egos. Let's face it. If we're in the jungle and a lion's chasing us, it's our ego, that fight or flight, that's going to save us. However, when we're constantly in the ego fight or flight, that's the problem. That's why we have these anxiety disorders and we get into bouts of depression because we are at ego. So we have to learn to just feel our feelings. Don't identify with your feelings, feel the anxiety, feel the depression, whatever it is, but then let it go and then go into your right brain. That's how it's done. Does that resonate with you, Miss Azria?
Oh, absolutely. Then that was, as I said, I watched the program yesterday and everything resonated. So when I saw Mitsy's come up with regards to that consciousness, I thought absolutely, because it's everything that you were saying there was, well, resonated with me. I'm not going to say it's spot on, but yeah, absolutely resonated. So thank you so much, because yeah, very much the truth. So yeah, I just love that whole program.
Oh, thank you. I put it in the chat. I put it in the chat if you want the link to the show last night. It was my show last night. And Linda Bennett, thank you so much for your 199 super chat. That is very sweet of you. Thank you so much. And Mitzi is saying she completely understands. Beautiful. And I hope that resonates with you, Mitzi. Absolutely. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's get to the next one on alien DNA with Azria.
Who do we
We're
have
getting down
next?
to the wire here. We have a couple
Wonderful.
left.
We have, yeah, 2 more to go.
Mandy. Mandy's from Canada, 1983, another young one. And she is another Lumerian. So here we go. Oh, beautiful. The same one. I think it's
Yeah,
yeah.
no, please do. So Mandy, I really hope that and that what I was saying for Mitsy, if any of that resonated with yourself, but I would just like to add a couple of other bits in particular for Mandy, is maybe just ask a question as well. Are you into the arts? Because I got that there's a lot of art and creativity around you, or something that maybe you've been putting off. Because again, when we're looking at that, those colors, we're looking at those vibrations, and the Lemurians very much utilize those energies, colors, sounds around you. So I don't know if it's, I've got a feeling it's more like the painting or something like that rather than music, but please do correct me if I'm wrong on that one. So with yourself, Mandy, I've got also with, it's that social role. I'm not too sure if I mentioned it with Mitsy, but I kind of see you as kind of like the leader of those. I don't know why I keep on referring to schools here. I mean, it was a very long time ago since I left, but is that social, it's kind of like very much the leader of the social gatherings, even if it's like a WhatsApp group with like 2 or 3 people. That It's kind of like those are keeping those people talking, keeping those people connected. And I'm getting that, keeping people connected, because on one hand, the Lemurians are, I'm not necessarily going to say highly sort of like family orientated, but it's kind of like they do. I don't even go round in groups. I'm asking for something to word it in a different way, but we'll come back to that in a second. And as I said, hopefully a lot of what I was saying for Mitsy kind of resonates as well. The other thing I think I'd like to just add in there as well is still, I'm still kind of getting that whole social aspect. So don't always pull back, because where you go, your energy flows. And where I think before you haven't always necessarily had the people that resonate with you, I think is what I'm trying to say, is because you're kind of wanting that homely feel, those people that do resonate with you. And sometimes you need to kind of get rid of those people that maybe don't, in order to make room, because actually there is those people out there that do resonate with you. Whether they're Lemurian as well, I don't know, but certainly have the same kind of thoughts and feelings with you as well. So yeah, I really hope that resonates. Oh, wonderful. Unfinished. Oh, I know the feeling. 100%. I've got 3 in my conservatory at the moment that I haven't touched since summer last year. So, but welcome those beings in as you do it as well. I don't know kind of what sort of mediums that you use, but I mean, I like to just put loads of paint on and kind of like use my fingers and see what happens. But even I think when we said earlier, I can't remember who it was with, and I apologize, but even getting like, I want to get a crayon, and just even when you're sitting there like in front of the TV or something like that, just start moving it around. Just start tuning in. You don't always have to go and do something big. Always do, because I know sometimes even like excuse me, getting all the paints and stuff out, sometimes don't have time for that. But just putting pen to paper or a crayon to paper or a bit of charcoal. I think you like working with charcoal because it's more of a natural based. See if there's any other naturally based things that you can use. I'm kind of getting, like the monks in Thailand, not necessarily just Thailand, but they use the different fruits and vegetables to color their robes. Because the Lemurians are very much connected with the elementals as well, and to the earth. So don't look at them as separate beings, like completely different separate beings, because there are those interconnectedness there as well. So I would actually bring some of that elemental in there as well, and maybe start looking at what natural products and things to use as well. But I mean, sorry, I know you kind of got 2 for the price of 1 there, but they're bringing in that elemental element as well, I think will really, really support you going forward.
It's beautiful. Very beautiful. Gotta love it. Got to love it. And last but not least, on the show today, all right, we have, I should have just used my phone the whole time. I was making it hard for myself. Tracy, 1966, Wolverhampton, UK. I've never heard of that, Wolverhampton, UK, and she's a Syrian. Ooh. Here we go. These are what the Syrians look like.
So, I mean, these have all been absolutely beautiful in exploring. And the reason I say that is that you do like to explore, whether it's exploring new places, whether that be indoors or outdoors, and always finding out more, because the Syrians, I want to kind of go, they're a bit like scholars. So scholars are always learning, but always teaching at the same time. And I've got a feeling that, oh, that's you. Oh, wonderful. I love that name.
I do too.
Yes, no, no, SH1
Great
Sherlock.
name.
That is my favorite saying. I've been saying that since, always got told off though. But yeah, so I love it. Oh, that's you. How fantastic. So it's made my day. So it's always kind of like being that forever scholar. So on one hand, you've got that wisdom coming through, but you always want to go and explore and find out more, so that you then kind of like almost, I want to say, like topping up the library. Highly adaptable, because remember, one of the Syrian planets is mainly water. So when they came down to this planet, yes, it was predominantly water, but a lot of the Syrians work in water and on land as well. So there is that adaptability. I would put a little kind of note in there. Oh, that's a favorite color as well. How fantastic. I'm just not too sure about the eyes on this one, but everything else was kind of resonating. No, I'm glad the color resonates there. Is boundaries and burnout. Because where you do always want to be doing. Oh, I'm water sign too. Wonderful. Thank you for the feedback. Oh yeah, I don't know astrology and things like that, but no, that's fantastic. But what I was saying is the boundaries and the burnout, because there is always kind of taking in that information and passing on that information and what is around you and who is around you. Just remember, it's okay to rest. I know I probably said that before, but at this moment in time, I think there's so many people, and I get it through with my clients a heck of a lot at the moment. And sometimes even myself included, some people might know what happened back in April, but what I would like to say is that it is okay to take a step back. It is okay to have those boundaries. And most importantly, is to look after your own energy as well. You might think one day, yeah, okay, no, I haven't done too much, but yet I'm still going to, I don't know, take a nap. Who knows? I'm of that age now, but anyway. And that's okay. Because there is a lot happening energetically. And you are very, for everybody on this list, and anyone who is feeling those energies at the moment, especially those huge changes with those meteors coming down, with the way the earth is, as I said right at the beginning, changing. Give yourself time. Time is a human construct, you can say, but it's taking a step back. If you're starting to feel burnt out, just say, that's okay. And breathe. Because I think breath for you as well, Tracy, is key at the moment. Because where you're kind of going, we only breathe up to here. We need to breathe right down into that stomach as well. And I'm telling myself this at the same time, I must confess. I'm getting a bit of a telling off too. So, but oh my God, I can't believe that's the last one. And I just really hope that was all resonating.
Yeah, I love it. She's so funny. No shit says, rest. Rest is for wimps is my saying, but you were right.
That was mine until, my boundaries got pushed down. So,
yeah.
yeah, lesson learned there. But I just love that name, and I'm so glad, yeah, that it's you. And I hope everything else resonated.
Yeah, now we know your real name. I love it. That's a great screen name. That and I have one of my moderators and Troll Crushers is Garden Hoe. And she has a little like a hoe, but she's a garden hoe. It's hilarious. So I love this. Like I
Play
think
on
you're a
words.
good
Play on
hoe. A
words.
play on words. She's a good hoe. Yep, I love it. But I love it. No shit, Sherlock. I know that is one of my favorite sayings. So awesome. Oh my God, we're done, Asria. We are done. And folks, she is sold out for next week. So she's in demand. What can I say? If you want to join us next week and you can buy some. But in the meantime, if you go to the description of the show, I'll just show your website, hon, while we're here.
Oh, that's
All
very
of
kind.
the
Thank you.
links all of the links to get in touch with Miss Asria are in the description of the show, but I'll give you a sneak peek of her website. So if you do want to take it to the next level, or if you don't want to wait until the next show when you want to just get a full reading, this is Asria's website, ascensionthroughconnection.com. As I said, it's in the description of the show, as well as Asria's YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to Asria's YouTube, she's streaming on her YouTube now. Please do so. And her Buy Me a Coffee is there too if you want to give Asria some love. But this is her website, all right, and all of her star DNA, all the different, all of her different services. Okay, beautiful website. It looks great, Asria. You really did a really good job. There's a returning client, there's a discovery call, energy recalibration, clearing system. She does intuitive guidance. She doesn't just do that. She's also a psychic medium and intuitive empath, and she does readings like I do. So very, very good stuff. So,
Yeah.
Miss Asria, before we end the show this evening, what words of wisdom or what bit of advice do you have for your fans out in the chat?
So first of all, just thank you everybody. This is just so incredible week on week, and I feel truly blessed. And thank you so much, Dee, for just being hosting and being a support and just a wonderful, wonderful person. So thank you. But I think my last real message is same one I always say, because it's true, is it's all about going within and what resonates with you. What is your truth? There's lots of information out there, good, bad, indifferent. But just look into your intuition. And I know I'm pointing at my chest, but it's in the stomach as well. What is the energies telling you around you? So it's more about going within and connecting, whatever you choose to connect to. And I will say, no, SH1T Sherlock is rest. Especially in the UK with this heat, because you cannot, but sometimes I think we're going to about 30, 32 degrees or something tomorrow. So summer's definitely come early. It's kind of like that solstice gave us a good old hit. But no, I just want to say thank you to everyone as well, and sending lots of love.
Well, folks, here's another. We're going to wrap up our episode 3 of Alien DNA with Asria the Pink Lady and Orca Lady D. Here, that rhymes. Episode 3, Lady D. Oh, Deianne, do you still have ants in your pants, Deianne? She was so excited. I love when people get so excited. I love the excitement. I can feel it. I can feel it through the chat. It's awesome. I just love this. It's such a fun show. I love the show. It's so easy for me. And I don't have to do anything. It's just fun. I just be the host. I don't have to really work. I just get to sit back. It's so much fun. So until next week, folks, like Asria said, go within. You be your own guru. Doesn't matter what the world thinks or the world says. It's up to you. And what do you think? What do you say? Right? Be
Yep.
empowered. Take back your power. Don't wait for a savior. Don't wait for QFS. Don't wait for anyone. Everything's in the here and now. There is no time. Everything is in the here and now. So the people that you want to be, the person you want to be, the life you want is within your grasp. You just have to raise your frequency like that old tuning radio and just raise your frequency. If you want to be here, you just slowly raise your frequency until you're here. I know I'm aging myself because most people nowadays have no idea what radios are. But back before the internet, folks, before, we had MP3s and everyone had these, there was a thing called a radio and they used to dial and there was frequency, right? And
Yep.
if you, let's say that you wanted to be on 93.4 and you had to tune your dial to get to that frequency, right? And sometimes it would be staticky and sometimes you would hear it more than others. It's just an adjustment of your frequency.
Yep.
Everything is energy, right, Azria? Everything
Yep.
is energy.
Absolutely. And I love that visualization of that radio, because that's exactly what I do when I'm tuning into those different frequencies of those DNAs. So 100%. Yeah. And I do remember, spending hours trying to tune into Capital FM. That's all I'm going to say.
Remember with the antennas?
Where you used to record your favorite song on a tape. Anyway, that's a whole other program we can do on that right there. Right?
Oh, I know. Growing up in the 70s and 80s with Asri and Lady D. Oh, all right. We're young at heart.
Always.
All right, folks. Until next week, Asri and I send you our love. And yeah, just know that you are large and in charge. And we will see you same time, same place next week. Bye, everybody.